Storm. Sheriff Paul Babeu serves in Pinal County, Arizona, and supports the new law. Right. Why? Sheriff Babeu joins us live. Good evening, sir. And why do you support this new state law?
Well, crime literally is off the charts here in Arizona. That we have some of the highest crime statistics in America, and where officers being assaulted, officer-involved shootings, carjackings, home invasions, literally in the absence of federal action, our state is now taking action, and it's a welcomed action and step by us who serve in law enforcement.
Well, we could go back well beyond former President Clinton when he was in office and find federal leaders who have said we've got to secure our borders. I take it, do you not think our federal government is going to secure the borders? Have you given up or not?
Not at all. Not at all. What we've had is a lack of uniformity here, even locally. We've had an evolution, if you will, in local leaders and even in law enforcement, where we have always bought into this idea that, hey, this is a federal problem, and we can no longer afford to ignore that. Crime in my county, where we have a third of our population is Hispanic, Latino. I have 200 of my staff that are, and we're going to apply this new law without profiling anyone. Just last month, Greta, we had, yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Last month, we had 64 pursuits just in one of our patrol regions, and that's where a vehicle fails to yield for our lights going on and sirens blaring, and they take off and speed up in high-speed pursuits, running red lights, intentionally causing traffic wrecks. And this is to not just avoid the police, but their tactics have changed. They're always armed. And this has resulted in numerous people being killed in traffic wrecks in my county. And who are these people that are fleeing from law enforcement? These are smugglers, not only of drugs, but of humans. And they're trying to get to Metro Phoenix. And so right now, it's reached an epidemic proportion here in Arizona. And this is where you have sheriffs like myself, police chiefs that are calling for what Senator McCain and Kyle have asked is 3,000 soldiers to the border. And until we literally stop the unseemingly flow of illegals coming in, it's like a hamster wheel. We're just going to keep chasing our tail here. And we would never ask for actual troops to the border if we could handle this on our own, and we can't.
So I take it you would prefer, in a best-case scenario, that you didn't even have to handle this, that the federal government would step in and actually would handle it, would actually secure the borders. Would that be something you would prefer to having your department handle this?
That's part of it, but I can tell you that every component, and that's the beauty of the McCain plan, it brings together federal agents, it brings together state and county and local law enforcement all together, troops at the border, continue building the fence that President Obama had suspended, and all of this working in partnership, because over half of the illegals coming into America, this is why you're seeing us take action, they come into Arizona, and enough is enough.
You said that you wouldn't do profiling. How can you avoid doing profiling, or how do you know that you won't do profiling?
Well, I'll give you an example. Just last night, we had deputies Tabor and Miller go on a traffic stop. They stopped somebody not because of the color of their skin, but because they were breaking a traffic law. They were speeding. So the deputy turned around, pulled the traffic stop, but the driver pulled into a residential driveway. The operator of the vehicle immediately got out, which is an alert to an officer. The deputy approached him and said, hey, what's going on? The suspect said, hey, there's nobody in the car, but then took off on foot. The deputy stayed with the vehicle, had seen the trunk actually pop open, and two deputies approached the vehicle, and surprise, in a Ford Taurus, there were 9 other people, including 2 in the trunk. Now that's what we call reasonable suspicion, or a clue, in law enforcement. So we would take any lawful action we normally do. Here in America, we trust our police officers with the authority that, say you committed a crime, Greta, or any citizen, that we have this awesome authority to suspend somebody's constitutional rights and freedoms. We also have the lawful authority to literally literally use lethal force and take somebody's life, and yet here we're questioning the fact that we can't build the components that are necessary to get to reasonable suspicion and probable cause. And I would submit to you and all of our citizens that we do this on every call we go on, whether we determine if there's criminal action and we need to make an arrest, or if it's a civil matter, or there's many times there's no lawful action that we take.
Sheriff, thank you, sir, and good luck, sir.
Thank you, Greta.